Okay, so the first item to go through is lists. Lists are essentially a replacement to previous functionality called favorites, which was just a single list of favorite records that you wanted to highlight as records that you consistently want to go back to. You could run workflow from a candidate record or from a search result or for any entity record that, for that matter, selecting to add to favorites. What you can now do is basically create multiple lists that are specific to you as a user. So you'll have your favorites list as a default list, unless you assign a different default. We'll get to that in a second. But then you'll also have the option to specify different lists within this area as well. If we go to list maintenance, you'll be able to see that there's now a section within your user settings called list maintenance. And within here, what you can do is look to create another list. So if I create DP test2 as an example and hit save there, that's as simply as much as there's to it in terms of adding a list there and then deleting a list. Obviously, you can just select the list and hit delete, and that's obviously going to free up any records that were associated to the list also. For within a entity record of the view more, you've got the add to list option here, and essentially from here you can select the different lists that you have available. Again, on the basis of the default choice, so this default option here is going to dictate which default list appears when you go to add to list here, which list appears. If there's no assigned default, it will choose favorites as standard. But what you can also do is add a list on the fly as well. So if you're looking to create a new list from within a record, you can hit select and add new list, and here we can DP test new list 2. So here we'll press OK, and that just adds a new list and assigns this record to that list. So if we go back to lists, you'll see that we have our favorites list, but we also have this new list that I've created there, and the record obviously assigned. So that's the start of what will be a new area within the system, where additional functionality will be added over time. We do have the plans to implement the means to be able to share a list, so that when you created a list as an option here, you'd also have an option of whether or not you want to share that list, and that will make that list appear for other users in the system. That functionality will be coming relatively shortly, but over time we'll also build out other functionality within this area as well in respect to lists, so that it's fully administratable as expected. But that's the update we've made there.